Hi there, I'm Professor Blackmore, and I want to welcome you to ProfessorBlackmore.com, where our goal is to empower results through real productivity. And I'm coming back to you today just to talk to you a little bit more about my new project, Side Piece or Side Chick Settlement Agreements. And as you know, I am going to be teaching this class using the example from the Bill Cosby criminal case. And so I think many of you will probably agree that the DA or prosecutor who was in office at the time that Andrea Constand made her initial allegations against Bill Cosby had no intentions of really prosecuting Bill Cosby. But a DA or prosecutor doesn't stay in office forever. And so this seemed to be a fact that was not fully contemplated or factored into the analysis of the Bill Cosby team in the pretrial stages of the Andrea Constand civil suit. Because as you remember, the DA entered into an agreement with Bill Cosby that he would not prosecute him in the criminal court if Bill Cosby would enter into a civil settlement agreement with Andrea Constand. So even if you're working on a game plan that would discount the need for an immunity order from the court, you still need to factor in what could happen in the future if you don't have an immunity order and the current DA or prosecutor is no longer in office.
The DA told the comedian's attorney, essentially, I won't prosecute your client if you promise that he'll testify fully in a civil case. Cosby's attorney allegedly agreed. It was a deal. In the deposition, Cosby admits he had sexual relationships with at least 5 women outside his marriage, gave prescription sedatives to women he wanted to have sex with, and tried to hide affairs from his wife. Why would Cosby testify so openly? Because allegedly he believed it would never be used against him in a criminal court. The civil case against Cosby was settled, and the deposition remained sealed for many years, but then last year a judge decided to release a transcript of it. And the explosive charges Cosby faces now are largely based on that transcript.
And so if this eventuality creates any amount of exposure whatsoever, this will be a factor that would weigh very heavily in the final settlement amount and consideration that would be associated with that bucket of money. In other words, this would be categorized as one of the client's major business goals. And so in talking about this bucket of money associated with the client's major business goal of obtaining that immunity order, I am describing for you one of the 5 business issues, which is money. And although I have identified this one money issue, there may be other money issues associated with this particular business goal, including how much it will cost the client in attorney's fees and costs. And so, as I stated in my preview video for this course, you cannot fix a problem if you don't know what the problem is. And so being able to spot all the business issues that result from the client's major business goals can only really be done by using my business issues worksheet. And so it really does crystallize those aha moments, like determining the likelihood of needing an immunity order. So you see, in my opinion, Bill Cosby always needed an immunity order if there was any likelihood whatsoever that the current DA could change his mind or die suddenly or whatever. But it seemed that there was some misunderstanding of the law that caused Bill Cosby's team to confuse them into thinking that their oral agreement with the DA not to prosecute came with some type of built-in immunity, which it absolutely did not. And so as an aside, Bill Cosby had another business issue of obtaining that agreement not to prosecute also in writing.
I mean, it all kind of fits, doesn't it? That Cosby spoke so freely because he was testifying without any fear that he might get charged for that which he was about to say.
Absolutely. At the time that the agreement was reached, Bruce Castor was the elected district attorney of Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. In that capacity, he had the absolute authority to bind the Commonwealth, not just during his administration, but through his successors' administrations, to this agreement. And the problem is, it's fundamentally unfair to renege on the agreement. Mr. Cosby gave up one of the most valuable rights we possess, the right against self-incrimination, based upon the promise of the district attorney at the time, Mr. Castor, that he would not be prosecuted. Now, it becomes hot fodder during a election campaign here in Montgomery County in the fall of 2015, and the first assistant district attorney, who's now the DA, runs basically on this issue.
So as you can see, this business issues worksheet analysis helps you to spot all of the client's business goals and associated business issues. And it's something that you just cannot wait until the time of the settlement to do. In my opinion, you need to start working on your business issues worksheet analysis as soon as the case comes in the door. And it should be updated all throughout the pretrial stages of the case as the facts change. Having a good business issues worksheet analysis conducted will help you to add value to the deal in the pretrial stages of the case, in your discovery, your motion practice, and other complicated civil procedures in the case. So in doing this business issues worksheet analysis, the first thing that I do is to show you how to determine all of the client's major business goals. And here on my business issues worksheet, I show you how to place those business goals in the business issues worksheet. And so as you can see here, Cosby needs to obtain an immunity order signed by the judge, facilitated by a motion or application filed by the DA. In addition, he would also possibly need Constad or the plaintiff's obligation to cooperate and participate in this procedure, because there may be some declarations or affidavits that need to be filed along with that application. Then I show you how to spot 5 business issues, one or more of which could be present in any of the client's major business goals. And as you can see here, I've already talked to you about money, which is one of the 5 business issues, risk, control, standards, and in-game issues. Where there is money, there's always going to be risk. And where there's risk, you're always going to need to control that risk. And then we have standards issues, which is where you crystallize any definitions or any rules or laws or procedures that would be associated with that particular business goal. And then we also lay out any end game, being able to look at the end result or the end game concepts that will be present in a particular contract, including your termination, or if the contract will terminate on its own at some particular time, your remedies and indemnities, which are going to be those consequences for breach of the agreement. And so these are all of your main business issues, which I also call problems, that I talk to you about, the ones that you just can't know how to solve until you actually know what it is. And then I also show you how to identify the appropriate contract concept that should be used to fix this business issue or problem. And that is why I call these 7 contract concepts problem solvers. And I show you how to associate each of these contract concepts. As you can see these items in blue here, your covenants, your declarations. And then I show you how to identify the particular contract section, one of 10 of the particular contract sections in a contract where the particular contract concept or problem solver should be placed. And so as you can see here, these items in purple, your definition section or your business section of the agreement or your termination section of the agreement. I show you how to put those also on the chart. And so when it comes to actually write the contract or the agreement, all you have to do is plug these specific pieces into their particular place. And so I show you how to do this very seamlessly. And so I hope you will consider taking this course with me so that you can learn these very useful techniques and so that you will know how to draft a side piece or side chick settlement agreement.